work for various renowned clients. Also, I have worked for UiPath and directly, and all the other clients, renowned clients, as you can see. And apart from this, working with clients, I've also been involved in various cultural events, giving training, like non-tech trainings or few of the technical trainings within my team. So yeah, that's a brief about me. I would like to thank Nikhilesh for being a very supportive host and organizing this session and also giving me a chance to be a speaker for this session. I would like to thank my moderators for today's session. They will be supporting you throughout the session. So Bhavani and Padmaja, you have already got an introduction from them. So they will be supporting throughout the session and they will be helping you with the required links. Okay, so jumping on to the agenda for today. So we'll know about what is Orchestrator, the introduction to Orchestrator. You will know about Orchestrator Overview. You'll know about robot provisioning, modern folders, what are attended versus unattended robots, assets, queues, what are triggers, monitors, and SLAs. You'll know about storage buckets, and in the end, I'll also tell you how to publish workflows from UiPath Studio to your orchestrator. Now, first topic is introduction to orchestrator. So I'll tell you what is orchestrator and we'll understand the importance and the key benefits of orchestrator. Now, first of all, what is Orchestrator? So, UiPath Orchestrator is basically a web application that will enable us to orchestrate robots in executing processes in a very organized and automated way. Okay, so let me show you. So, this is how our cloud account looks like. You might have already seen it by now, and if not, once you log in and make an account to UiPath cloud, so you'll see this home page. So you'll see your name, you'll see all the links here, ready-made templates, automations if you have any already added. You'll see the option for downloading the studio. So you might have gone through it already. If not, here, if you see, there is a three dots, and you can see orchestrator option here. You can click here, and you will be redirected to UiPath orchestrator page. Once you have opened the UiPath orchestrator page, it looks something like this, having a tenant. So it takes some time to load. Let it get loaded. Yeah. So it will look like this. It will show you a default tenant and a default folder, which will be my workspace. This demo folder is something which I have created. So it will look something like this in the scratch. Now jumping back to the presentation. So this is how UiPath Orchestrator looks like. Now I'll explain you. So as you can see in the diagram, we have UiPath Studio and there are a few projects added. So once you publish these projects, it will go to UiPath Orchestrator directly and will be added. You'll add in some or the other folder that you create. Package combined with folder. So package will come up with some versions and combined with folder it becomes a process. So once there is a process, you will have it in the UiPath Orchestrator, and once your process is ready in the orchestrator, you can run it via UiPath robot. So any attended or unattended robot, which I'll explain what the difference in between the two. So you can run it using robots. So all of this interaction between the studio and in the robots, everything comes through orchestrator. So orchestrator is basically a centralized space. One more thing you might have noticed that I have been managing that it is a management tool. So as you are aware of our project life cycle, so we have different phases. We have build phase, we have manage phase, maintenance phase. So all of the phases have different tools. So like for building, for development, we use UiPath Studio as a tool. For managing, that is securely deploying and managing the automations, as you can see on the screen, we use UiPath Orchestrator. Now coming to the capabilities of UiPath Orchestrator. So the first capability of UiPath Orchestrator is provisioning. What is provisioning? So Orchestrator helps us to create and maintain the connection with robots and users, and it takes care of all the robot provisioning, right? So everything is centralized in the orchestrator. Everything is distributed from here itself. Deployment. So everything, as you can see in the diagram, is published here. Everything goes on from here. So deployment is done from orchestrator. So it helps us in the correct delivery of the package versions to the assigned robots for execution. Third is configuration. So what is configuration is orchestrator will help you in maintaining and delivering robot environments and process configuration. So you can do all the configuration values, maintain the values and everything from UiPath Orchestrator itself. Fourth is queues. So queue is another concept which we'll discuss about later. But now you can consider queue as UiPath Orchestrator provides us a capability of queue that helps us in ensuring automatic workload distribution across the robots. So if you have high bulky data and so many data are there, so queue is a concept that will come into the picture for your workload distribution. Then there is monitoring, as you can understand from the monitoring keyword itself. So it will help us to monitor the jobs and whatever the processes are running, and even the minute details we can monitor along with the permissions. So logging, next capability is logging. So maintaining the logs of whatever workflow you are publishing or running using Elasticsearch. So it helps us to maintain logs. Then interconnectivity. So any third party application that you want to integrate and any tool that you want to use with, so you want to integrate it. So you can use UiPath Orchestrator for any third party integration. So that is what is interconnectivity means. So these are all the capabilities, key capabilities of Orchestrator. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Orchestrator Overview. So here I'll explain you about Orchestrator entities. What are they meant for? What is an entity and what is the difference in tenant context and folder context? So if you can see here, UiPath Orchestrator consists of multiple entities. Now, what is an entity? Entity is something that is very useful and has some functionality. So every entity will have some particular functionality, some particular feature that will be a sub part of Orchestrator, which will help us in our work. So it contains multiple entities, and these entities are divided into tenants and folders based on the hierarchy of their use. Okay. So let me show it to you here. So you can see here, this is a tenant. What tenant represent is, tenant represents like an entire organization. You can consider a tenant. So tenant will be created and tenant will have entities. So robots, you can see here, folders, machines, packages. So these are all what entities. These are called entities and these are tenant entities. Why? Because these have to be maintained on a high level, on a organizational level. So machines, you can add all the machines, like you can add all the robots. So these are added at a tenant level. You do not need to create all of it again and again. You can have one tenant and add it. Now tenant will have folders inside it. So you can see folders tab here where you can create the folders. So tenant have folders inside it. Folder is a different concept. So you can consider it as your local folder. So as you have in your local file system, the folders, here also we have folders for inside a tenant, and you can add as many folder entities as you want. So let me show it to you. So as you can see, there's one folder and entities have changed. So you can see here we have processes, we have jobs, apps, triggers, logs. So these are folder level entities. So for each folder, you'll have different processes, you'll have different jobs. For example, you're working on a process A, there can be process B also. So you can create two different folders for both the processes. And inside that, you can have different sub parts of it, like you can have dispatcher, performer, reporter, a bot that is working on a particular machine. You can have it downloading the report, one bot. You can have running some functionality, another bot. So that can be a part of one process that can have similar variables that they're using, right? So that is what is the difference in tenant and folder entities. So as you can see, this represents tenant and folder entity. Folder is a storage area that helps you keep your project separate, and tenant is for complete isolation of all the orchestrator entities. So I hope that is clear. I'll move on to the next topic, which is robot provisioning. So you'll learn about creating, configuring, and provisioning of robots in Orchestrator here. Okay, now what is robot provisioning? So UiPath robots, as you're aware, they are helpful for running of an automation, running of a process. Okay, so in order to run a process, as you can see in the diagram, there is a start job. So you can see we have process name here, we have runtime, we have account, we have machine, we have host name. So there are so many fields here. So in order to run a job, in order to run a process, we need to have some robot set. We need to have all these parameters assigned and created. So how do we do that? So what all things we need? We need an account. Okay, so that we have created. That's why we are in the orchestrator. So we have a account. Then we need to have a user, our own user or a robot account in order to run the execution, in order to run a process. Then we need to have a machine created in order to run. Where will you run? So you'll need to have either a virtual machine or your own machine added inside the orchestrator. And then you need to connect all of this. We need to connect the robot and orchestrator. Then we need to publish our package from the studio. Whatever you have developed, you'll have to publish it. Once it is published and everything is done, just create a folder and assign everything there, and then you can start your job. So let me show how everything is done. So I'll first go to, you'll navigate here and go to admin page. So that is the very first step. So you'll have to go to the admin, and you can see here. So I have created like from my own organization. So you'll go to accounts and groups here. So once you go to accounts and groups, you'll have to create a user. So by the user you log in from, that user will be automatically added as an admin. And if you want to add another user, you can add as many users as you want. So you can click on invite users. You'll have to add email for the user you want to invite, comma separated, and you can give the membership. You can select as admin, you can select as automation developers, you can select anything that you want basis the role that you want to give to the user. Here you can see there is guidance. Every step that I'll show you, you can find that there will be a question mark for help. So UiPath provides all the documentation very thoroughly for all these steps for understanding. So you can invite your users from here. You can invite users in bulk from here. If you have multiple, like more number of users, so you don't want to give one by one, you can invite in bulk. So as you can see mine, if I edit it, you can even edit it and add and remove the permission. So I have just given my email ID and my name and given it as admin, the group membership. Coming to groups, you can create as many number of groups as you want. These are the pre-built groups that you'll also get when you'll create your account. Now, robot account. What is a robot account? So this is something that is for a pro level of account of UiPath Orchestrator. So that is basically for when you want to run high level of unattended automation. So when you want to run unattended automations, you'll have to create a robot account also. You can view the documentation. If you have pro account, you can view the documentation and keep configuring if as per what you want. So this is just the basic step. You'll have to create your user first of all, and then you just go back to the orchestrator. Okay, let's navigate to the orchestrator, and then you'll go to your tenant. You can also create another tenant if you want. One tenant will be by default created for you. You'll go to manage access option. There you'll find your user added. For example, admin is added for me and my email ID is added for me. So here you will give the roles. You can give the user, robot account, group, and external app. So you can give the user the permission. You can check the roles and permission. So if I edit, you can see that I have configured for myself. The username was pre-added. I have given the role here. coming to the next screen, you can see that there's an option to enable user to run automation. So if you want that user to run the automation, so you'll have to toggle this on. Again, these are all something license type that you can check basis the license you want to give for citizen developer, like for Studio X, if you have the project attendance user, RPA developer, automation developer, anything, you can check it and give it. Next is unattended setup. So if you want your user to allow unattended robots to be run, so you'll have to toggle this on. Again, coming to what is attended and what is unattended, I'll explain it to you in detail. But as of now, this option has to be checked on separately if you want to run unattended automations. Okay. So these are all the settings. I'll cancel it for now. So you can configure it for yourself. Just go to tenant, manage access. You can even do it now if you have your account added. Just keep on doing it parallelly with me. I'll be going a bit slow. I'll give you a time to do it. So just go to manage access, add your user, add yourself as an admin for now. If you are just going on for demo purpose, practice purpose, so just give yourself admin role and you're good to go. Then you'll go and create a folder. So one folder like I have created from here demo. So you can just click here. Nothing you have to do, just give your name. Maybe I'll give it test folder. Okay. You just give test folder, give some description if you want. It's an optional field and you can create it in tenant package field. You can create it and it'll be created. So just like this, it'll be created. It's a modern folder. If you if you have previously seen Orchestrator version, so you'll remember that you'll have classic folder option also. So that is no more being used in the newer version. So if you have some on-prem orchestrator or previously set up orchestrator, therein you will find the option for classic folder also. And but here, as of now in the new versions, it is discontinued. So you'll just see modern folder option. So once your folder is created, you can see this added account and groups and machine. So once you have created your account and group, just go to assign and select your account. Okay, you'll find it and you can just assign the user. So since I'm already added, it is showing that I'm already added. So I'm already added here. You just have to click on account and groups and assign the account. Similarly for the machine, once you have created the machine, you can just manage the machine and assign it. Let me show you how to assign a machine. So you can go to the tenant machine page, machine tab, and here you'll see add machine option. Just click on machine template as of now. Since you are not using a particular machine, we can also choose machine template so that it can run with any robot. So you'll just give a template name, whatever you want. Give the name. Description field is optional again. Here you can choose the process type. You want to run all, you want to run foreground, background. Process compatibility, you want in all, Windows only or cross platform only. That you can give, and then you have to assign a license. So just go and give one unattended license. If you have more, you can give more also, but one attended license you will get the option. So just give the unattended license to it. I'll show you my machine that I have created. So if you see it here, so this is my workspace machine and I have given one unattended license to it. And this is the process type compatibility. I have chosen as all. And you can see that production runtime license it is having. Okay. So yeah, so this is how it will look like. It will show the type here. Whatever machine you select, it will show the type here, the installed version, the version status. So it has auto update, so it can go to update. So yeah, so we have created the folder, we have created the machine, and yes, then you just publish your package from the studio. I'll show you how it is published. Once it's published, it will come up here in the packages option. So as you can see, my one package is published, so it is coming up here. If you have libraries, it will come up in the libraries tab. So here you can see everything coming, right? Then once when you have done everything, you have set up everything, you just go back to your folder, go back to the folder that you have created, go to automations, you'll see process. So you'll have to add your process. So just click on this add process, select the package. Once you have selected the package, you'll get the option to choose the package version. You can choose your package version if you have multiple versions. You can choose your entry point, which XAML you want the package to be running from. Once you are done with everything, you can give the package requirements. So if there's any requirement, any variables and everything, you can give and you can just create it. Let me show you this. I'll edit it. So everything that you create is editable. So I'll edit it. So if you see here, I have this package version 1 main.xaml, very simple, and package source name is hello world. So this is a pretty simple task. You just have to add your process from automation process tab, right? So once you have added the process, you can run it either directly from here, you can run from jobs, or you can run from UiPath Assistant. Let me show you how to configure UiPath Assistant. Please keep typing it in chat if you have any queries. That my team will be taking care of that. So UiPath Assistant will look like this. So you'll go to your profile, you'll see there you will be your profile. You'll go to here, preferences, just click on preferences and you can go orchestrator setting, right? Here you will see connection type, two options will be there. One will be machine key and another will be service URL. So since we have connected with our cloud URL, so we can just choose service URL and give cloud.uipath.com. Once you click on sign in, it will be redirected to the orchestrator page and will ask you for one-time sign in and redirect you back to the assistant and you'll be connected and good to go. If you are choosing the second option, that is for machine key, so you'll have to give the URL again. You'll have to give the machine name, your machine name. You can get it from the command prompt and you'll have to give your machine key. So once you create your standard machine, if you have created a standard machine for yourself, you will see a machine key created there. So that is how you can see machine key and you can add it. So this is pretty much all that you need to set up your first simple automation process to be running. I assume that how to develop in Studio, you all must be aware, at least in Studio X, since you all must have attended the day one session. So this is all about robot provisioning and even about running and creating a process. Also, if you want to connect UiPath Assistant using command line, you can even do from command line. So you'll have to just navigate to the folder where you have installed UiPath. So you can just go to that folder. Let me show it to you. Just go to run or else go to the folder program files 86 if you have it there. I have it here. So just go to the you do not have to go to the file explorer. You just have to open the command prompt, give cd for the directory and give the directory. Just go to that particular studio folder and just give the command uirobot.exe hyphen connect and that will be good to go for the connect that you'll need. More help on that, more help on the commands, you can always get it from the UiPath documentation. Okay, let's go on to the next topic, that is modern folders. Okay, So here I'll tell you the benefits of modern folders and how it's different from classic folders. Okay. So modern folders. Now what is a folder? So as I was telling you before, folder, just consider it as your local system file folder. So you see their folder is there and you can add as many features as you want which the local system provides. Similarly, in UiPath Orchestrator, you can create a modern folder that will be easier to manage and deploy your automation workflows as it allow users to be assigned at folder level. Okay. Earlier, when we were using classic folders, so users had to be assigned at tenant level. But now modern folders have those features that you can give automatic robot management, automatic license management is there, and a hierarchical folder structure is followed. So what do I mean by hierarchical? So if you go to folder here, let me show you. When you create a folder from tenant, so if you can see here, this is the option to create a folder. So it will create you a modern folder. But if you want to create subfolders, you just click here and you can see here new subfolder in demo. So in that particular folder, you can create subfolders. So it will help us in giving fine-grained permissions or for any sub-process you want to create a subfolder and assign users there. So it will be very helpful. And you can have 6 subfolders under a particular modern folder. So that is what is the feature and folder. You have seen how it is created and how does it look like. Again, coming to the difference, so classic folder, it followed a very flat structure. It didn't have any subfolder. It didn't have automatic license and robot management. However, you have it in modern folders. Even fine-grained permissions you can have based on the users that you assign. So everything has fine-grained permissions again, and modern folders is very helpful in managing the automations. Also in classic folders, if you were aware earlier, if not already, there was an environment concept which is now no more being used in modern folders. Environment was nothing but a group that has to be created and machines and users have to be mapped with it in order to run the automations. So that was it about folder. It's pretty simple. You just have to create it and configure it. Moving on to the next topic, which is attended robot versus unattended robot. So we have seen what is a robot. Now, what is the difference in attended and unattended robots? Okay, so robot is an execution host that run process designed in UiPath Studio. Coming to attended. So attended robot, you can consider it as a personal assistant. As you can see, it is compared to an HR personnel or a call center operator or a data validation specialist, someone you interact with on a day-to-day basis or someone who can help with a day-to-day basis. So that is what is the work of attended automation or attended bots. So they will help you with a small day-to-day task where user intervention or user attention is needed, and it's a personal assistant for the end user. And what is unattended? Unattended robots come into the picture when you want to run a very large scale automations or you want to run something in the background, you want to run very repetitive processes, you want to schedule it and you want to run it, and multiple users are involved in that. So then unattended robots come into the picture. So if we can see in the comparison, attended robot run on the user desktop and it is triggered by the user activity itself and it uses the user's credential. However, in unattended robot, you can see that it runs on a standalone PC or like in a virtual machine. You'll have to give some robot provision credentials. You'll have to give the credentials to the robot and it is scheduled by the orchestrator. It is not triggered by user activity. We have to schedule it, pre-schedule it. So that is what is the difference. Again, attended has real-time user robot interaction. So for example, you get a message box, you'll have to click on OK. You get a pop-up, real-time pop-up while a bot is running and you'll have to click it by yourself. So then you will have to use attended robots. But if you have something that is running completely in the background and user intervention is not needed, Or if you are aware of the concept of action center and something that you can wait for getting the user input, and that when the user will log in, they will check and give the input from the orchestrator. So then you can use unattended automations. So it will notify the user of the status updates and which can be carried forward later. And the common tasks are again running background automation, which is common in both of these. Attended bots can also run background automation, hybrid automations, logging, creating of queues, assets, and everything is common in both of these. So this is what is the difference in attended and unattended automation. I hope that is clear with everyone. If you have any doubts, please keep posting your questions in the chat. Now, moving on to the next topic, which is assets. So we learn about assets and how to create them. So what is an asset? So consider asset is like a variable. So there are 4 types of asset which UiPath provides. So we'll have text, we'll have Boolean, we'll have integer, and we'll have credential. So assets will help us to store the values of all of these types, maybe text, Boolean, integer, or even your credential. So it will store it safely inside the orchestrator that you can use in your automations. You can pass in your folders, you can create assets in your folder and pass across your automations. So that is what is the work of asset is. And it's a folder level entity. Okay, as you can see, asset enables you to create asset at folder level, and even previously created assets can be edited or deleted. So let me show it to you. How do you create an asset? You can see I'm in my folder. I'll go to assets, and here you'll see the option of adding asset. You can link from other folders or you can create a new asset. Let me create a new asset. So here you can give your asset name. You can choose the type out of the 4. If you give text, you'll see text option here. If you see Boolean, you'll see true and false is coming up here. If you give integer, integer will come up. And if you give credential, it will take username and password, which will be hidden. And again, password will have the requirements. So field is required and must be a maximum of 25,000 characters. So these are all the things. Now, if you see the value type, so asset can be of 2 types basis the value. So it can be a global value. What is global value? That means it is valid across all the robots. So every value would be a global value. If you disable it, you can add robot asset value. So that means per robot or per user and machine combination, you can give the values for a particular credential or particular text or whatever asset type is there. So you need not give it globally if you want all the robots or the users to have different values. So machine is optional. If you want user machine combination, you can give that. If you just want the user, you can choose the user and give the value like this. Description field is optional for the asset, but it's better if you give a description. So yeah, that is how you create an asset. I'll just cancel it. So you can create now itself if you're working parallelly. Just go to add asset in your folder, create a new asset and give whatever values you want. This is just type. Coming here again. So this is what we have covered. Now, let me tell you in Studio, UiPath Studio, how do you access it. So in Studio, if you want to access any asset, you'll have to use the activity get asset and get credential. So if you are using text, boolean, integer, you can use get asset. It will fetch the value of the asset. And if you want to give fetch credential, so you'll give get credential and you'll fetch the asset. You can see here. Once you see the activity, it will have username and password as the output. And what you'll have to give, you have to give the orchestrator folder path and just the asset name. That's it. So that's how you can fetch a asset as get asset or get credential. Even you can set the asset value and set the credential value from Studio itself at runtime. So that is how you access the assets. Okay, again, you can link an asset to any folder and use it, right? So let's go on to the next topic, which is queues. So I'll tell you about queues in Orchestrator. I'll tell you how to use queues along with Studio, and also the difference between queues and transaction, like what is the difference in the two. Now, what is the queue? So queue is basically a container that enables you to hold any unlimited number of items. I'll compare it with a simple example. So consider an Excel file which is having couple of sheets there. So suppose 5 Excel sheets are there, and all the Excel sheets are having multiple rows in it. So one Excel sheet, you can consider it as one queue, and multiple rows can be added inside the queue as multiple items. So that is what is the work of queue is. It will help us hold as many number of items as you want in order to distribute the workload, and we can process it based on our robots. Now queue item statuses are there. So we have these many number of queue item status. We have new. Whenever you create a new queue item, you add a new item inside a queue, they will be added as new status. Okay, and whenever you are running or whenever the robot is taking that queue item, processing it, it will be changed to in progress. And as soon as it is changed to in progress, whenever the queue item is processed, it becomes a transaction. So a queue item that is goes in progress, it is called a transaction. So that is the difference in queue and transaction. Again, once it goes to in progress, it can go to either failed, successful, retried, or abandoned status. So failed means the process has gone into some exception and it has failed. Successful means the process is successfully executed, the item is successfully executed. Retried means the queue item was failed and it got to retry. So it has retried. Okay. So it will be changed to retried. Abandoned. So if a queue item is in progress state for 24 hours, so it will be automatically status will be changed to abandoned. And then deleted. If the item is deleted, it will be showing as deleted. And there is something called revision status. So these statuses will help you perform version control for your queue items. So any queue items that have failed or abandoned, so any of the status, either they are failed or abandoned, they you can go to your history tab and do a revision status. So that is something which is a capability that UiPath provides. Let me show you how to create a queue. So if you go to the queue tab and go to add queue, again you will see link from other folders and create a new queue. Two options are there. Review request, you can see it here, which I was telling you about. So here all the requests will come up. So you can give any name. For example, let me give demo queue. Okay, you can give the description. This is for demo purpose. Okay. And then again, let me come down. So here you can see inputs or unique reference is there, encrypt format is there, auto retry is there. What is auto retry? If you want the queue item to retry in case of failure, in case of exception, you can enable it. If you don't want, it will be disabled. You can set 1 to 50 retries here. The maximum retry is 50. So you can have 50 retries. So these all you can add. What is SLA prediction? So SLA is something you can consider like a deadline. I'll explain you in detail later. But yes, so SLA prediction is something like a deadline for the queue. And if you enable it, you'll have to select the process name. You'll give the timeline. Risk SLA is for risk deadline. So if you want to highlight that the queue item is approaching a risk, so you can specify that timeline also. So that is how it is created. And it has some retention policies that you can see everywhere. So that is for automatic deletion or something for the queue. So that is done, and you can just start it. So queue will be created successfully. It's very simple. And once it's created, you can see the description here. Okay, you can see in progress. So how many items are in progress in that particular queue, how many items are remaining, the average time, how many successful items are there, application exception, business exceptions, process name, labels if you have provided any, and the properties. So for seeing queue items, you can just go here and you can view the transactions from here. Even you can monitor directly. You can upload the items, view the chart, add any trigger to the queue, which is called a queue trigger, and you can edit the queue always. So that is what you can do inside it. If you go to review request, you can see here the fields will be changing. So you can see queue status, a reference that will be for the queue item reference, which is into review. Revision, that is the revision status, priority, deadlines, the robot executing, and the exception and the time of failure. So everything. So since again I told you that's for the abandoned or failed queue statuses, so time of failure it will record. So that is what is about queue. Now coming to Studio, UiPath Studio. So UiPath core.activity is the package which will have all these activities for accessing queue or transaction. That will be already be added. If not, you can just install it from manage packages option here. Just add core activities, and if you type your queue in the filter, you'll see all the activities that provide us the queue facilities. So you can see you can add queue item, you can add a transaction item. So again, transaction item something, if you'll add it, it will be adding the queue item and also moving it to in progress state. It will start its progress. So add transaction item, queue item, you can add bulk add queue item. So you can add like a table, or if you want to add inside queue, you can directly add a bulk queue item. You can delete, you can get the queue items, get the transaction items, you can postpone, set their status from here. So everything can be controlled from UiPath Studio in short. And nothing major has to be done. You just need to know your configurations or whatever you want. What is the name you want, if you want to give a postpone deadline to it, if you set the priority high, normal, low. So everything is very simple to set, and you can configure it to your liking. So that is what is queue is all about. Let's go back. Okay, again, the same thing you can see in the slide. It's written UiPath core.activities package so that you can use it. Let's move on to the next topic, which is triggers, monitors, and SLAs. So all three will cover it together. So you will learn the multiple ways of triggering a process in Orchestrator and the steps to monitor the Orchestrator jobs. Now let me tell you what is trigger. So trigger, as you can understand from the word, is triggering some job in a pre-planned manner, executing a job in a pre-planned manner. So you can schedule it basis the time you want to run it daily, or you want to run once in a month. If any kind of trigger you can set. You can also set triggers for queue, which is called queue triggers. So like you can add that if 5 items are added to this queue, then only we want the process to be triggered. So you can set trigger like that. Then you can also have API triggers, that is for API calling. That is some new feature that is added. It's in preview as of now. So API triggers can be added. Event triggers can be there. So in response to any event, maybe like on mouse click. So you can also do it from Studio, and you can set it from Orchestrator itself. So for triggers, we have Studio activities also. So you can use them. Just in the filter, write trigger. You will get the activities and you can use them. So let me show you the triggers, how to set them. So if you go to your folder, go to automations, okay. In the automations tab, you'll see triggers here, okay. So schedule automatic process run. As you can see, API triggers in preview mode, event triggers there, queue and time triggers. Let me show you how to add a new trigger. So you can choose what trigger type you want, then give it a name, select the process. So for example, I have this process coming in the drop down. You can select it. Choose the job priority. We have very fine grained level of priorities from critical to inherited and the lowest. So you can choose the job priority. You can choose the runtime, testing, non-production, production, cloud VM. Okay. You can give arguments. If you have in the process, you can set your arguments. Now here you can set the time zone. So you'll have multiple time zone. You can see here there are multiple time zones here. For every minute, you can choose minute, hourly, you'll see, daily, you'll see hours and minute, you'll see weekly here, you can select the days, okay, you can choose multiple days, okay, monthly, you can set, okay, every 4 months you want, and every Tuesday you want in 4 months, at what hour and minute you want. Advanced is cron expression. So if you're not already aware of cron expression, you can find the format in the documentation. It will contain of 6 to 7 arguments. Seventh will be optional. That will be for the year. So everything you can add. You can add the time here. You can add the month as the number, and you can add the year. That is optional in the end. So cron expression you can add by 6 to 7 arguments you can create and add the cron expression if you have very advanced um, schedule to be created. Now this is calendar days. So if you want to set some calendar for particular working days for holidays, so you can go to your tenant and add a calendar and select from here. So you have to pre-create the calendar for a tenant. You can just give it any name and set the calendar. So that is how we create a time trigger. So I hope you all have understood. For queue triggers, so we add a new trigger. You give it a name, process again, inherited or whatever job priority you want, runtime. Now here you'll give the queue. Just select the associated queue. For example, we created this just now. It's coming. Any queue you can select. You can select the maximum number of items to trigger the first job. So how many items you want to be added in order to be running the trigger. And these all things you can configure. You can even select the calendar here and time zone here and just create the trigger. So it's also like pretty simple to be done. So you can just create your triggers this way, and even from the studio you can search the activities and add the triggers. Coming to monitoring. So monitoring means keeping a real-time matrix, keeping an eye on your robots or your processes that are running, your machines, your queues, everything for every hour and minute you can check from the orchestrator. So let me go to the monitoring.
Sorry, Netra, for breaking the flow. I would request you to consider some time for quiz.
Sure, sure. Yes, definitely. We are on time. I think only
Thank
two
you.
topics are remaining. Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so monitoring, here you can see we have overview tab. So you can see here job statuses will come, job history will come, and every transaction will be coming. Machines you can see here. So every machine you can keep track of here. If you can see processes, then you can see here the processes that are coming. You can see all the type of completed job timeline, running job time frame. Every minute details will be coming here. All the charts will be created for you, pre-created for you. You can just use it, export it, and use it. Queues will be there. You can even track the queues. Okay. Very fine-grained things will be there. Even the timeline. So unprocessed items and everything you can check. Coming to SLA, which I was telling you previously about the deadline. So that is what is SLA meaning. So let me show it to you first here. So QSLA, it will display the information pertaining to the SLA and risk SLA of all the queues in the current folder, only if you have enabled the SLA predictions. So I have shown you the toggle bar. So if you have enabled it, it will be showing you QSLA. Okay, so this helps us to process in a timely manner, and just in case it goes into a risk SLA, so you can allocate more users, more robot to it in order to execute your queue items in a timely manner. So that is what it's about. Let me quickly show you. So you can see here SLA predictions will have these things added. You'll have the queue name, the process name, in SLA, at risk, in out SLA. What does these mean? In SLA means how many items are in the QR inside the risk deadline. Okay. At risk means how many items are approaching the risk deadline, which are between the risk deadline and the uh, complete over deadline, breach deadline. And out SLA means how many items will be breaching the deadline. So that is there for the number of items. And similarly, these will be for the timelines, like what will be the timeline, SLA breach timeline, risk SLA and AHT. And the necessary robots you need and necessary robots at risk you need. So these are all there. Here, QSLA overview, there will be a chart created. You can see in the chart, gray, that SLA is not labeled. No issues, green, that means no item is predicted to be at risk or out of SLA. Orange, for at least one queue item is predicted to be at risk, and red is for one item to be overdue, at least one item to be overdue for SLA breach. So that is what is about SLAs. Going on to the next topic, which is storage buckets. So storage buckets, you'll learn how to access the file across the different automations using storage buckets. So this is how a storage bucket, you'll see it looks like. It'll provide you options for selecting storage bucket. You can select Orchestrator, you can select Azure Storage, you can select Amazon S3, MinIO, ST compatible, even any other you want to add, you can add it. So storage bucket provide you a per folder storage solution for developers to leverage in creating automation projects. So if you are, for example, creating UiPath apps you created yesterday, so it will come in handy if you have all the files added in storage buckets. Even for any studio or any other data service integration, so anything, it will come very feasible. You can add as many files as you want inside a bucket. You can create a bucket very easily. Any type of storage bucket you can create. And if you want to add few buckets, the options that you cannot see, you can go to the folder where you have UiPath installed, as I shown you in program files 86. And there you can see there will be an orchestrator dll.config file. There you can add the key as buckets.available provider and the value as S3 or Azure or any bucket that you want to add. Let me just quickly show you, as we have very limited time. So just let me show you how to create a storage bucket. You just click on here, again link or create, you can do. Choose whatever storage bucket you want. So for example, I'll create an orchestrator bucket. So I'll give demo bucket, give the description. Okay, this is for demo. And if you want to do it read only, you can do it and just simply create it. It'll be created. You can just go to that bucket, click on it and upload files that you want. So very simple to use storage buckets feature, and you can use the UiPath activities in order to access the storage bucket. So just go here, type storage, and you can see you can have these options: delete storage file, download, list. All the options will be there. You can just easily give the storage bucket name and use it. Yeah, so that is it. Again, last, I'll show you publish workflow to Orchestrator. How do you publish it? So let me jump to the slide demo itself. So just go to your studio and click here on, you'll see here publish option in the design panel. Just click on publish. Once you have developed your project, just click, go to publish, click on publish, and also make sure you are connected to the right folder from down here. You'll see the package properties, the current version, the new version. You can even edit it if you want. you can give the version name. You can toggle this if it's a pre-release. Okay. And go to the publish options. You can choose to publish to a tenant process feed or to your personal workspace. So if you saw there is a personal workspace folder you want to give, you can give custom. You can give any custom nugget URL and the API key along with it if you want to custom do it custom. And if you want to do it in your tenant, you just choose it and you can just publish it. That's it. It's very simple. You just have to click on publish. It'll check for your validation errors. If there are no errors in your project, it will be simply published. And here, just connect it to your folder and that's it. So that is pretty much about publishing. Even from command line, if you want to publish, you can do it. So this is the path. Again, navigate from the command line to the studio installation folder and give this command studio.commandline.exe space publish. Give the hyphen path arguments you can get from the documentation, and that's it. So that's how you can publish it. So yeah, I think that's all for it. Yeah, so I'll just stop sharing. And I hope all the questions are being taken care of in the chat already. Yeah, so please guys keep on typing your questions if you have now also. I think all I'm seeing are answered. Okay. Okay, fine. Maybe we can start with the Mentimeter quiz.
So yeah,
Padmaja,
so
Bhavani.
before that,
Yeah.
so hearty congratulations, Netra. So it was a fantastic session, really appreciated. You went very slow and every person is able to understand. Literally, you can see 100 plus people. To time is 9:10 p.m. Still 100 plus people are in the session. Guys, I request to appreciate Netra for her time and the you can give
Thank
reactions as well. So the so she will understand how the session went and well. So I mostly think other team members helped with a lot of questions. So moderators Bhavani, Padmaja, Usha, Vinila, Gayatri, Divya, most of the people covered all the questions. I don't want to take your time. I don't want to wait you for the amazing other interesting event. So please do that. So before Netra sharing the screen, and so I request everybody to go and register for tomorrow day 5 session. So it is going to be one of the interesting and important session, and even many of you might not have good chance to work on the document understanding. So it is in the last chart, so you can get it done. And so I think moderators, you can on your cameras, and I think we can take some good pictures. A team, you can audience, you can on your videos. So even I gave the options to all the moderators and all the team members who are available in the video. So and moderators on the right side, you have an option called view. In that view, if you click, yeah, that's all, gallery. So yeah, I see a lot of people joining from different locations and different cities. So it's really appreciated. So yes, please do register for day 5. Tomorrow we have one more amazing speaker and amazing moderators even. And we have day 6 also. So if you people don't know, means there is a day 6 also. That is also one of the important and latest topic. So yeah, let me on from my end, sorry. The yeah. So somebody can take some pictures and yeah. Yeah, I think moderators are everybody there. And any other people so who can on their camera and show their happy faces. So that will be really helpful. And apart from moderators, I see some of the audience also replying to the questions. So really appreciated, guys. So that's the energy we see in our sessions. That the energy you are giving to us and motivating us. So thank you so much. And yes, people still asking where we can find the recording and all. Yes, recording I didn't upload now because like if you start going through this again and you will be thinking that array recording high, we will not join today. So that is the reason I always upload the recordings after the series, entire series. But for your case, I uploaded one video to at least showcase that videos are available as we promised. So that is the reason I'm not uploading now. But yeah, it is having some background editing and all. Videos will be there in the same link, registration link. or even in the same Nikhilesh Satyavarapu YouTube channel. And I see some of you have been writing some LinkedIn posts. So seniors are there, many seniors are there. So requesting each and every person to at least write one line. So I attended Netra session to yesterday, so it was good. Or orchestrator, it is like nothing more and all, because what it happens, it will give more encouragement and more a power to give attend this kind of sessions to all everybody. So that's all from my end. I think Netra, you can start giving that, and team, you can give the Mentimeter quiz all the very best. And yeah, and please do send the day three people I didn't get, I guess. So please send. If you send, that's fine. If you not send, please send again the address and all. Yes, all the very best. You can off your camera so that your net will be fast.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Let's move on to Mentimeter.
Guys, you have the Mentimeter site, I mean website, I guess. Please do open that. Netra, give them time for at least 2 more minutes.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
very
sure.
easy, guys. www.menti.com. So that is the website. And code, guys, you need to give the code. Please give the code. Code. So she gave the code. Yeah, you can start getting into that page. It's very easy, mentimiti.com. So it is 59523756, and even you can what I say, you can give the uh, scan also, that also works. Okay, I request people to join in this, because only 15 people I'm seeing, but we have 70 plus people in the yes.
Everyone, you can easily scan the QR code on the screen, and please just give your accurate name. That's it. Just type your full name whenever you are entering the quiz.
Guys, we are going to share goodies with the winners, and please share your full address to the email ID we are providing in the chat.
Yes, I think you can start. We see good people.
Okay.
All the best, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here you will see the people who joined. Just wait.
Yes. I think
Yes, I see
54
50 plus
people.
people.
Yes.
So last 30 seconds for other people.
Yes.
Yeah. And as I said, yeah, nikhil.rp@gmail.com. Please enter that email ID. And you can still give some likes to Netra for the session. We are waiting. So yes, I think we are good. So let's start.
Yeah. I see people are still joining in. I'll just start now. Okay, let's start. Okay, your first question is coming up, guys. Which of the following data types cannot be stored as assets? Please choose the option. Credential, data type, boolean, or string. It's very easy, I hope. Time's up. Okay, I see many people have given the correct answers. Great, guys. Let's see who is on the top. I see PS Parvati as fastest as of now. Let's go on to the next question. Yeah,
Come on,
I'm
guys.
starting
Come
the
on.
next.
Speed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Come on, guys. Who will be the fastest finger first? They will get more points, and even that should be a right answer. Which
Which
of
of
the
the
following is not a key feature of attended reports? We have four options. Netra covered this topic in this session.
Yes.
Yeah, and even the screen looking vibrant. So yeah, thanks for the design, Netra.
Time's up.
Yep, so mostly given correct. So who didn't give the correct? So please check that answer. Again, we'll wait. Yeah, Parvati, Srivani, no.
Yes,
Again, somebody.
Parvati is the fastest.
So Lakshman came. So please continue.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the third question.
Yeah, come on, guys,
Okay.
keep it up. You are doing good.
Which one of these you cannot find in the triggers tab of UiPath Orchestrator? So everyone, I displayed it to you a few minutes back. It says process triggers, time triggers, queue triggers, or event triggers. Everyone has voted. It was fast. Process
Fantastic.
triggers is the
Fantastic.
right answer. I think audience has been interactive in the session.
Just wait. It will turn around.
Okay, I see the names have changed. Bhushan
Yes,
Wankhede is the
somebody called
fastest.
Bhushan and Nikhil. So
Nice. Let's go on to the last question. Please buckle up, everyone. Last question.
yeah, just wait for 1 second here.
Okay. Is it possible to reprocess a transaction in a queue after its failure due to an application exception? You can see the options. No, transactions cannot be processed. Yes, only if auto retry is enabled. No, only transactions that fail due to a business exception can be reprocessed. Or yes, it can be retried in different ways.
Guys, speed up, speed up.
Everyone
Last
has
and final
voted
question.
before time. Great. Let's see the correct answer. Okay, so correct answer is yes, it can be retried in different ways, even if auto retry is there or manually. Let's see who has given the right answers. Okay, I see Bhushan Wankhede is the fastest and second is Varun. Congratulations, guys.
Yes, so hearty congratulations, Mr. Bhushan, Varne, and Mr. Varun. I gave the option to unmute Mr. Bhushan and Mr. Sandeep Varne, I guess. So hearty congratulations, both of you guys. So I gave the option to unmute and at least, yeah, even you can talk or tell something, Mr. Bhushan and
Yeah, hi, this is Bhushan. First of all, thanks to Netra and Nikhilesh for arranging this session. I have been continuously following you guys on LinkedIn as well. I am seeing a lot of interactive sessions are coming up. Yes, I may not be able to join, but yes, I see a lot of use cases are being published, a lot of challenges, questions are being answered correctly. So yes, the spirit is actually good and going, and yes, that is how RPH is getting involved. So thanks a lot.
thank you, Bhushan. Thank you, Bhushan Bhai. And hi, Varun, if you have 1 minute and like if Varun is not able, congratulations. But Varun and Mr. Bhushan request you to send the details, please. Complete details, pin code, home, house number, everything, everything. Okay. And guys, I have given the like we Netra has like I think 4 more minutes. So if you want to talk something and not about quiz again, so quiz I think it's not about Q&A. Q&A mostly we covered. So anything you want to share experience, how the last 4 sessions and tomorrow we have Latu, and we have last session at last. So Saturday also we have the session, guys. Don't forget. And please do register for tomorrow. I request 50 people are there at least. I hope these 50 people registered for tomorrow session. You can give some reaction or message that we registered, so we'll get to know. Yes. So done. Thank you. Any other participant or moderator or anybody want to talk?
Yeah, Nikhil.
Hey, hi, Raju. Thank you for joining, Raju.
Yep. It was a wonderful session, and thank you very much for introducing this 2.0 series to the people who actually don't know about the UI path. They learn most of the things, and today's session especially, she nailed it, and it is too good. And congratulations to the team, and looking forward for the next session. And thanks for this, Nikhil.
Yeah, thank you so much, Raju. Thank you so much for your contributions on the SS series. So Raju is one of the solution architect, and he's been a part of SS series last month. So thank you so much, Raju. And I want to thank to all the senior community people, Raya, Raju, Samkiran, Nikhil, joining the sessions and encouraging the team. And I would like to congratulate Mr. Praharsha for joining the continuous sessions. So yes, I think we are good. We took a lot of time today, and yes, we are enjoying. And I know tomorrow is Friday. You will have multiple parties and all. So, but I request we'll wrap up by at least 9 o'clock or something like that. We'll try to do it. But please do join tomorrow, and I request whoever available today. So please come tomorrow and encourage our moderators. So special thanks to Padmaja, Bhavani, Gayatri, Vinila, Usha, and all the moderators, Pallavi and all. So thank you guys. So love you so much. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.